friends, and welcome to the first semester of the SeasonAthon Academy, where I am trying to earn my bachelor in reading. This first semester, we have to take 5 classes, aka read 5 books. My class schedule for the month is as follows. For English, I'm going to be reading Give the Dark My Love by Beth Revis. For math, I'm going to be reading A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. For communications, I'm going to be reading Bunny by Mona Awad. For philosophy, I'm going to be reading These Violent Delights by Micah and Nemerever. And finally, for foreign language, I'm going to be reading The Housekeeper and the Professor by Yoko Ogawa. So if you couldn't tell by the titles of, maybe not of all the books, but I have added a little special something to my TBR in that all the books I've chosen for this semester have some kind of academic setting or theme to them. I have already finished one book for this readathon this semester, which was These Violent Delights by Micah and Nemerever. I'm not going to talk about it in this vlog because it got its very own vlog, which should be up by the time you see this one. So if you're interested in a dark academia, you can check out that video. So one class down, yay. Okay, so my second class in this readathon and my first book of this vlog will be Give the Dark My Love by Beth Revis for English 1010. In this one we follow 17-year-old Nedra, who gets a scholarship to a boarding school academy where she wants to study medicinal alchemy to help stop a plague that is ravishing the countryside of her home island. And somehow studying medicinal alchemy leads her into the dangerous world of the forbidden alchemy of necromancy. I don't know how well this semester is going to go, aka this reading month. 5 books is a little more than my average that I read in a month, so there's that aspect of it. But then also we have a trip to Disney coming up towards the end of the month that I'm basically going to be losing an entire week worth of reading. You know, Disney's not the laid back casual vacation where you just sit around and read all day. So added of a loss of week and more books than I normally read, I don't know how successful this semester or this readathon or this vlog will be, because I also have no plan whatsoever as to how I want to film or what order I'm going to go in. So this may end up being a hodgepodge of a video. You may or may not see it depending on how it turns out. But I'm going to go with it and we'll just see how it turns out. So let's get to studying, right? You know what would help when blogging? Pressing record. Well, I just did this and noticed that I didn't have to stop recording because it hadn't started. So let's try this again. Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction has done an impromptu weekend readathon for her patrons, and I am one of them. So I decided to join on that to get ahead in my reading because I'm going to miss that whole week and Disney. So my plan is to, at the very least, I want to finish the book I'm on. Bookly says I only have about little over 4 hours worth of reading left in Give the Dark My Love. And then ideally, I would like to start and finish that small audiobook. What is it called? The Housekeeper and the Professor. It's only about 6 hours, and depending on the audiobook, I'm going to try and get it as close to 2 times the speed as possible. So that'll only be about 3-4 hours maybe. So ideally, I want to finish both of those books this weekend. If not, finish Give the Dark My Love, and at least start and get some time into that audiobook. So hopefully that will help me out. She is doing some sprints right now, which I think I'm going to join. I think I'm going to do pick up the audiobook for Give the Dark My Love so that I can listen to it while I probably do some stitching. Good morning. The readathon did not go well. I did read on Saturday, but did absolutely nothing on Sunday. And I did finish Give the Dark My Love on Monday, yesterday. And it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. It was very YA, which is not always a bad thing, but in this case I really think that it was. Especially the romance, you know, it was sort of the love at first sight. We go on one date and we're in love. And what does it mean a real date? It was a walk through town. And the story, the pacing, I didn't care for. It did the thing where it tells you time has passed without actually showing you that time has passed. So I really don't care for that at all. And this is part of a duology, but I have no intentions of picking up the second book because I really don't care what happens to Nedra. So, English done. Philosophy done. So 2 classes are finished, 3 more to go. So today I'm going to be picking up my foreign language class and reading, or at least starting, The Housekeeper and the Professor by Yoko Ogawa, I think. This is going to be an audiobook because I couldn't find it as an ebook or a physical book from the library. We live near the airport, in case you couldn't tell. Okay, The Housekeeper and the Professor. What was I even saying? Oh, I have it as an audiobook because I couldn't find it anywhere else and I didn't want to buy it. This follows a housekeeper and a professor. The professor was, I think, a very renowned mathematician who had some kind of brain injury that made him lose his short-term memory, so he can only remember things for like maybe an hour, maybe not even that long. And there's a housekeeper who was hired to I don't know if it was to take care of him or his house or what, but she and her young son befriend him, and I think maybe life lessons are learned. I don't know. It's pretty short. It's only about 180 pages in physical form, and the audiobook is about just shy of 6 hours, so I really hope the narrator is one that I can speed up pretty quickly, because I always start a little over like at regular speed, and then as I get used to the narrator, I increase it over time so that I can get through it faster. I'm hoping this one I can do that quickly so that I can finish it. Probably not today, but maybe between today and tomorrow, because we are leaving for Disney this weekend, and I'm losing a day of reading because I thought we were leaving on Saturday, but apparently we're leaving on Friday. So including today, I only have 3 days worth of reading before we leave. So I will be bringing a book with me, but Disney's not really a vacation that you can read on. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, well, I'm on a roll because book finished in one day. It was a good audiobook. I was able to listen to it at almost 2 times the speed the whole time. So it only took me about 3 hours to read it. And Jessica is pulling in now. So we'll either start a study in Charlotte, or we'll decide tomorrow. Good night.
Are my lips greasy? Popcorn, Germany, Epcot. Swirly. Drinking around the world. With my sister. She's swirly too.
Not too much. So we got back from Disney a couple of days ago, actually. It was a lot of fun. It was really, really hot. And as soon as we got back here, it was instant fall. And I've been in a sweater ever since. Before we left, I did pick up another book. I picked up A Study in Charlotte. And I read it for a couple of days. I actually read a good portion of it. I only had less than 100 pages to go, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I DNF'd it. It was awful. It's a Sherlock Holmes retelling following his however many great grandchildren in a boarding school in Connecticut, and they get framed for murder, and then they investigate. Although no actual investigating ever happened. At least not in the part that I read. It was awful. Do not recommend it. Don't bother reading it. So then I only had one book left, which was Bunny, and I brought that with me. I think you probably saw that. And that one was something. It was enjoyable. It was a really fun read, but what did I read? Because I don't understand any of it. But it was fun, so it wasn't terrible, wasn't a DNF, and it was a whole lot better than the last one. So all in all, this semester has been way more successful than I thought it was going to be. I actually went through all of the books on my TBR, all 5 of them, even though I didn't finish one of them, but I did read almost all of it. And yeah, I think it was great. We are well on our way to earning our bachelor in reading. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you've made it this far, leave me any kind of school emoji. I don't know. And as always, I thank you so much for being here, and I hope that means I see you soon.